Today, Baba is talking about having the aim to buy an air conditioned ticket. Yes, because you see, even when you travel normally, by any means, whether you travel by flight or by train, there are different options. You can travel in the first class, second class, third class. Now, at this time, the classification is very different when trains, because now we have first AC, second AC, third AC, and then there is the sleeper, and then there is the general compartment in India at least. But you see, when somebody travels, they choose which ticket to buy. Yes. And what determines that choice? The affordability. Yes. So you have to be able to afford something, right? Now, Baba says we have to create the affordability to buy the air conditioned ticket. And in the Murli that Baba is speaking today, Baba is talking about the golden aged royal family. When you accumulate enough punya karma to be part or to be born into the golden aged royal family. So golden aged 8 births, and then becoming part of the royal family, not just the king and queen, but the whole family will be the royal family. And Baba says, if you want to be part of that family, then what you have to do is you have to surrender everything now. Then you buy that ticket, that air conditioned ticket. And then Baba says, in Baba's time, after the air conditioned ticket, the second category was first class. So Baba says, becoming part of the Moon dynasty royal family. So from the, copper age, no, not the copper age, sorry, the silver age. So the silver age, when Sri Ram and Sri Sita, 12 births, they start to rule. Then at that time, you become part of the royal family in the beginning. So that is called buying the first class ticket. And then the second class ticket, Baba says, is when you become part of the royal family at the end, end of Treta Yuga. And then Baba says, then there are other third class tickets also. So when you don't become all of this and you become the, the praja, the people, the subjects in either golden age or silver age. So that is what Baba is telling us today, that you have to have the affordability to buy the highest ticket. And the affordability is created now. So, all those people who are in the world also, they must create their fortune before they afford something in the world. So here also Baba says you create that affordability by surrendering everything to Baba. And surrendering everything means, see, everybody, so when, Kanyas or Kumaris, they surrender themselves to the center, then, to Baba's Yagya, they surrender themselves, then of course they surrender everything, body, mind, wealth, everything, their time, thoughts, everything belongs to Baba. So I remember there was this Kumari, so she started coming to the center in Seva. So she was just, she had not decided that she would live, but she was just coming for Seva. And then her father called in the middle of that. And then he said, there's some bank work, so go to the bank and have this done. So she told her father, no, my time is surrendered now. I cannot even think about your bank work. So the father said, what are you doing? So she said, I'm just sitting. There is no seva right now. So the father said, so then go to the bank and get the work done. So she's saying, no, I can't go to the bank. I can't think about the bank right now. I have to think about Baba and I have to be in Baba's remembrance now. So, anyways, the father got miffed and that became a paper and then she had to pass it. But the thing is that when we belong to Baba, even our mind is surrendered, right? Now this is for Kumaris who stay in the center, or but what about the householders who live outside? They are not living in Baba's home. Then Baba says that you have karam bandhan, you have karmic accounts to settle. So then what do? You 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 are allowed to spend your body, mind and wealth according to Srimad on in sustaining this physical body and in the settlement of those karmic accounts. Yes, so if there is what is a karmic account? Again, you have to know. And what is a burden of attachment? So, most people, they don't have the discernment about what is my burden to carry and what is not my burden to carry. Yes, so, but Baba makes it very clear that, if there is a brother, then his wife is his, if the wife is not working, then taking care of her financial needs is also, the responsibility. Or, if there are little children who are not standing on their feet, so it's not like if they is not standing on his feet for 30 years and doing drugs, then you start paying for the drugs also. No, that's not your responsibility. But if until they get educated and they are you have done enough for them to fend for themselves, then it is your responsibility. So up to the age of 18 or 21, whichever you choose, that much is your responsibility, educating them and feeding them, and later they have to fend for themselves. So these things, and in case of kanyas, in case of daughters who are not willing to take gyan, then getting them married is also the responsibility of the parents. So all these things Baba has clarified. And those who have finished all these responsibilities, they have no karmic settlements in the Lokik family. So Baba says surrender means while carrying out these responsibilities also, you take care that you do not cross the line of Srimad. Yes, so you see, there is one Mata, and she was yesterday telling me that her son, he had to go to some birthday party, and then the son said, I want to buy a gift. So the mother said, okay, you take this, some Baba's gift she gave the child. So you take this gift and give it to your friend. It was some book or something by Baba. And then this brother said, no, I will not give this. I will give them a bottle of champagne. so that is the gift we are giving. So the mother said, then you pay for it. I will not pay for that. I will give this only. If you need this gift, take it, or I am not giving anything. So then the son very reluctantly, he took that and then he went away. So you see, the thing is, Baba says that Baba has asked us to fulfill responsibilities, but not that, or even if it's not a bottle of champagne, it's, something else. Let's say it's, the throwing a lunch party where everything that Baba has forbidden you to eat is involved. So Baba says, no, you don't give your money or your time or your energy into that stuff. Yes. So Baba says, even when you're carrying your responsibilities, being surrendered, if you want to buy the air conditioned ticket, then you have to check whether you are living a surrendered life. So surrendered in the household means that even while carrying your responsibilities, you are taking care that you don't cross the line of Srimad. And then rest, whatever is not taking your time, energy, thought, body, mind, wealth, whatever is not getting used up in the fulfillment of responsibilities, everything belongs to Baba. So that is the idea of surrender. And those who surrender in this manner, they buy the air conditioned ticket. It doesn't matter where you live, but if you live a surrendered life, Baba says, you buy the air conditioned ticket, you go to the royal family in the golden age. And Baba also tells us that, everybody is very enthusiastic. So earlier, we didn't know what Baba gives. So Baba today underlines a very interesting law that in order to have yoga with Baba, you should also know what is the attainment from Baba. Yes, so usually, we point out that you must know the introduction of Baba to have yoga with Baba. But today, Baba is underlining that it's very important to know the attainments also. Yes, so Baba today tells us that you are very fortunate, and there is a song in the Murli that the most fortunate ones are the ones who you are close to, or Baba, the ones you belong to are the most fortunate. Now, what is belonging to Baba? So, belonging to Baba is not just knowing Baba. So, okay, so, sometimes I feel that when children give courses to other souls, they just tell, God is a point of light, or he lives in the soul world and he has these qualities. But so what? Yes, so if I know somebody who is very rich and wealthy, yes, so will I have yoga with that person? So suppose I know, somebody in the world who is a multi-millionaire, and I know that this person has this wealth and this is his address, and he looks like this, then do I have yoga with that person? No, I have buddhi yoga with the person who is going to give me all of that. So if somebody tells me that you remember me because I'm so and so, no, why would I remember you? Are you giving it to me? No, you're not giving that to me. So why should I have any intoxication of how much wealth you have? So Baba says that, every child, so Baba says, you are the children. So you are not just fortunate because you're sitting in front of me, but you are also fortunate because you understand what you're getting from me. Yes, and I have discerned this, that in the world, if you ask anybody, so when people come for courses, I usually ask this question. I ask them, do you believe in God? So they would say yes. And I then ask them, what does God do? So then the answer is, he gives everything. So whatever you have, it is given by God. So that also Baba mentions in the Murli, that people say that we have attained everything from you. Now then I ask them, okay, so is what you got from karma? It's because of what you did, or is it because of God? So then they say, no, of course, because of karma. Okay, so we did what we did and then we got what we got. Okay, so then what does God do? So blank. We don't know what we get from God. Yes, because people think that everything that you are having in the physical world, food to eat, your property, your money, your resources, your health, is from God. But no, that's from karma. And this is the biggest misunderstanding, because they consider that everything is coming from God. That is why they think that all the suffering and pain and sorrow is also coming from God. Yes, but Baba says, no, whatever you have right now is because of karma. And what does God give? So, what does God give? Tell me. So, who will answer this? So, what does God give? So, all this we get from karma.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I think Baba sends us to new home, and where we have unlimited resources, happiness, good relations.
Okay.
And for 21 births, it is uninterrupted.
Correct. Correct. Yes. So, Hanji. Knowledge, virtues, and powers. Yes, knowledge, virtues, and powers. And so you see that we need to understand that Baba gives this, right? So Baba gives liberation and liberation in life. And Baba today says that you need to understand that Baba has three primary relationships with us: Father, Teacher, and Satguru. As a father, he gives you 21 births of inheritance in heaven. Yes, and then as a teacher, he teaches you how to claim a high status, just like today Baba is teaching us. So you see, as a father, anybody who is Baba's child at this time knows Baba, follows Srimad, they definitely go to Satya. But then Baba in the Murli will tell you what to do to attain a high status. And that also Baba is teaching as a teacher. And then as a Satguru, Baba is giving us liberation and liberation in life, Mukti and Jivan Mukti. So Baba is the one who will take everybody back. So not just, do you understand that Baba will not just take us back, but Baba will take every soul back. Yes, and then he will also make sure that those who have followed Srimad, they will go to the new world, the world of happiness. And then Baba is the purifier. This is one very important quality of Baba. Just like Baba gives knowledge, Baba gives virtues, Baba is the purifier. Baba tells us that the only method for burning the sins of the soul is through Baba's remembrance. The sins of the soul cannot be absolved through any other means. Yes, so Baba says this is my quality, this is the attainment from me. And Baba says when you understand that this Baba has come, who is purifying me, who is taking me into 21 births of happiness, and who is going to take me to my sweet home, back home. So Baba says then there is an intoxication and you remember that Baba. Yes, otherwise people have no idea about, people are praying to God, but they have no idea what they get from God. Yes, or why are they praying to God? And where there is no attainment, no relationship, there cannot be constant yoga. Yes, that is why, despite the fact that people are praying to God, they cannot have constant yoga with Baba because they have constant yoga with those who are giving them a limited sense of attainment. Yes, so why is everybody remembering their office and their business and their family and friends? Because there is emotional and financial and every kind of attainment from them, although it is very limited, but it is that sense of attainment because of which you are remembering everybody. So Baba says that, until and unless you know who is Baba and what do you get from Baba, so until you know what you get from Baba, you cannot have yoga with Baba. And until you know who is Baba, you cannot have accurate remembrance of Baba. So Baba's qualities, Baba's form, where Baba lives. So when you have this understanding of all of these things, then you have accurate yoga with Baba. And Baba says, and then having, with yoga and everything, then you also have to follow directions for high status. So Baba says that you have to also look at the qualifications, not just your aim. So, okay, you have the aim of going to the Satyugi royal family, but then also look at what you're doing. Because if the qualifications are not matching the aim, then you will not reach the aim. And there is a story in the scriptures about this, that when there was a swayamvar, so there is what is a swayamvar? So in mythology, there is a narration of a swayamvar where there is a bride to be and there are suitors who are all coming, and the bride selects her husband from the suitors. So every suitor has to, prove why they are eligible for being the groom, and then the bride to be selects who will be her groom. So this is called Swayamvar, and Baba says that in the scriptures it is mentioned that when Sri Lakshmi had her Swayamvar, at that time Narad Ji, so Narad Ji was a Brahmin in the scriptures, mentioned in the scriptures, and Narad Ji went to Sri Vishnu and he said, make me look like Sri Narayan, give me a boon. But what he asked was, make me Kapi, and Kapi has two meanings. Kapi means Sri Narayan also, and Kapi means a monkey also. So he said, make me Kapi. So then he was made a monkey. And then he's thinking in his head that I'm looking like Sri Narayan. And then he went for the Swayamvar. And then when he was standing in the line of suitors, then Sri Lakshmi asked him, so just go and look at your face and then come back. So when he went to see his face, he figured out that he was looking like a monkey. So Baba says here also we say, we want to go to that time when Sri Lakshmi and Narayan will rule, and you want to be with them. But Baba says that in the royal family, if you have to go, then you have to look at your face, look at what you're doing. And the face of the soul is the actions, the karmic story. So look at your actions, look at your virtues. So Baba says, so this is how you prepare yourself for a position in Satyug. And then Baba tells us that another thing in Sangam Yuga is Maya. So, many times we make effort, right, at our own pace, at our own ease. And we don't understand that there is another force which is called Maya, which Baba is always talking about in the Murli, but we are very oblivious to Maya all the time. So Baba tells us that Maya is also working, and the job of Maya is to create obstacles. And today Baba says Maya slaps you and turns your face to the other direction. Yes, but you don't get slapped if you don't do anything, right? You get slapped because of a mistake. So Maya also slaps you when you make a mistake. And there are three things Baba talks about because of which Maya slaps us. First is you make a mistake. Make a mistake means you do what you are forbidden to do. Okay, so you engage in acts of lust, acts of body consciousness, acts of, suppose let me give you a very simple example. Somebody is talking to you and they are speaking rudely and speaking words of insult. Then what has Baba told you? That, okay, they are trying to trigger your ego, but you be bodiless. Yes, you don't react, right? So Baba has forbidden us to think in an egoistic way and react. But we do that. Yes, and then what happens is your mood will get upset. Yes, and you take either you take that sorrow or you act out of that sorrow and give sorrow, whatever you do, your mood will get upset. And then what happens? For that day, you don't remember the Murli. You don't remember, remembering Baba. No Baba, no Murli, nothing. And then you are living like anybody who is ignorant of Gyan and Yoga. And then what happens is Maya will turn your face away. And suddenly you feel that, a Brahmin life and a non-BK life is the same. So, what is the point? I'm investing so much of time and energy. And if this continues 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, then slowly, gradually, your whole zeal and enthusiasm of Brahmin life will be lost. Yes, so this is a very simple example. And if suppose that person who said something was a Brahmin in the center, then it becomes, faster, because, this is also a Brahmin, and then they are behaving like this, and then, what is the point? Why become a BK, and what are they learning? So you have started falling into the trap of Maya, and slowly, gradually, your interest is lost. So why? Because Maya is very sharp. But the thing is, how did it all start? It started you because you did what Baba asked you not to do. It's not because they said it, it's because you brooded over it. Yes. And then you see, Baba says, be detached and loving, but you get attached. Okay. So when you get attached, then you take sorrow. And when you take sorrow, again, you start losing interest in Gyan and Yoga. So a sorrowful heart cannot feel Baba's love. Do you know that? So if you have taken sorrow from human beings, if you have taken sorrow from somebody's words, if you have taken sorrow from a situation, if you have taken sorrow from somebody's actions, then that sorrowful heart cannot receive Baba's love. And then what happens is, Maya starts turning your face away. So I'm giving a very simple example of ego, and then there are other mistakes that you make. And then second thing is, Baba says, if you don't do what I ask you to do, if you don't follow Srimad, you don't remember Baba, you don't pay attention to the Murli, you don't revise the Murli points, you don't churn over them, you don't give your chart, you're not checking what you did in the day, you are not following the Srimad about food and celibacy and other stuff, then what happens is, Maya will slap you and turn your face away. But then Maya is only giving you the consequence of your own actions. Yes. And then third thing Baba says, if your intellect is corrupted. And how does intellect get corrupted? Through information. The food of the intellect is information. Yes. So if you feed in the wrong kind of information, yes, so either you are reading it on the internet, or you're talking to people, whether it's Lokik friends and family, and they are giving you wrong kind of information, which is reducing your faith in the self, Baba, drama, and the family. So Baba is giving us the knowledge and telling us to have faith in these 4 subjects, and faith is very important. Faith is the foundation. When faith is lost, everything is lost. So Baba says you have to have faith in yourself, you have to have faith in Baba, you have to have faith in drama, and you have to have faith in the family. But when you listen to stuff, and usually it is about Baba and the family. So, if you listen to stuff and read stuff, and you are in the company of people who are feeding you with the information which is making your intellect, lose faith in Baba and the family, then Maya will slap you. Yes, so Baba says that you have to be very wary of these things. Your intellect is being empowered by Baba. Do you know that in every religion, Baba is called the restorer of intellect. Buddhivano ki buddhi. So he's the restorer of intellect, because Baba gives us the knowledge, and that knowledge restores our faith in where our faith should be, and gives us the knowledge through which we see everything as it is supposed to be, and then we have the right attitude, right action. But when we take in information from outside, which is coming from the impure world, and people who don't understand Baba or his task, or this Brahmin family, so I have discerned this from experience, that Brahmins don't make a distinction between Baba's children and children who don't have knowledge. Yes, and then what happens is, you are a Brahmin, and then you go and discuss matters of the Brahmin family and the spiritual matters concerned with Baba Srimad with Lokik family members, with spouses or children who are not into Gyan. And then what happens is they give their own opinion, and usually when you are upset, this happens. So, when you are upset or not clear or the clarity is lost, then you go and discuss it with them and they give their peace of mind. And then that takes away your peace of mind. So this is all kusang. These are wrong company. So Baba says, even if you have a problem, so even if you are confused about something, even if you have a doubt about something, ask a Brahmin, and that too a Brahmin who is, who is dedicating their life, not a Brahmin who has no stake. There are many Brahmins also who come to the center, but no investment of body, mind, wealth, so they have no stake. So they also become instruments for confusing your intellect. So Baba says, don't take advice from either souls who have no knowledge or BKs also who have no stake in the yagya. So take suggestions, or even if you want some clarity, and the best is ask your nimit. Baba has given an instrument teacher. Even if you're upset, even if you have to complain to the nimit, even if it's about herself also, no problem. She can take it. But do that. Okay? And Baba says that and if you don't pay attention to these three things, make mistakes, and then you don't follow Srimad, and then you corrupt your intellect, then Maya will sweep you away. Yes, and so Baba says that you have to listen to Baba, teacher and Satguru, and claim your inheritance and be very wary of Maya. Okay, Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today, Baba also reminds us the point of drama, how he is also bound with drama.
Correct.
And also motivates us to follow that.
Correct.
And one deadly combination of Baba I like is quality of being powerful and merciful at the same time.
Correct.
And how can we achieve this? I don't know.
Yes.
I think sharing is more important for this.
No, but you're powerful. See, when you're powerful, you're automatically merciful also. Because when you are full, you give.
Yes.
That's the quality. Yes. So when you're full, what do? You give. When you're not full, then you beg. So that's the law. So these two are very easily connected.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Om Shanti.